Can I tell you what makes me most happy about being here today? Um, for the first time in my life, I think, today is the day where I know everyone in this room will pronounce my name correctly. My name is Natasha Tsakos, not tacos or taco or Zakos. It's Natasha Tsakos. And I am still searching for that one word that best describes what it is I do. I am actually not really satisfied with my titles. Did you know that we are currently preparing kids for jobs that don't exist yet? Using technologies that have not yet been invented in order to solve problems we don't even know are problems yet. For kids starting a college or technical degree, this means that half of what they learn in their first year of study will be outdated by their third year. That's the problem I have with titles. They're either too vague or too defined. We've become multitaskers, multi-mediumed, multidisciplinary. It's time to reinvent who we are and rethink what we do. And believe it or not, the day I signed onto Twitter is the day I came up with a description that so far best defines what it is I do. I like to invent possibilities through theatrical experiences. I really love theater. I love the idea that people will sit in one room for a couple of hours or a full day and listen. The idea that in that room at that moment, everybody, regardless of age, gender, culture, religion, sexuality, comes together. At that moment, we transcend space and time together. At that moment, we all agree to suspend our disbelief. Theater awakens our senses and opens the door to our imagination. And our imagination is what makes us unique. Our imagination is the springboard of invention, the blueprint to innovation, the trigger to create. It's the audacity to dream. So where do we start? Well, I began developing a show in 2003 called Upwake. Upwake tells the story of Zero, a modern-day businessman going to work with his life in a suitcase, stuck between dream and reality and not able to make out the two. Now, the story sounds pretty simple, but if anybody at that time could have seen what was happening in my head, they would have stopped me and said, Natasha, you're nuts, and you don't have the money to make this happen. And that person would have been right. And so, as usual, I didn't listen. Instead, I began drawing the crazy story that was moving in my head. If Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, the author of The Little Prince, were here, he would have drawn 3 holes on that box and told you your sheep was inside. Because if you look closely enough, things will begin to appear. This is not a box. These are the renders of my imagination from head to paper to screen to life. In Upwake, buildings were suits. Zero tap dances on a giant keyboard, clones himself with a scanner, tames and whips the computer mice, sails away into dreamscape from a single piece of paper, and launches into space. I wanted to create environments that moved and morphed, like an illusionist, go from one world to another in a second. I wanted Upwake to have beauty, humor, simplicity, complexity, and use metaphors to suggest ideas. At the beginning of the show, for example, Zero DJs, dream and reality.
Are we in this thing alone? Or are we in it together?
So technology is an instrument that allowed me to manifest my imagination in high definition, live, on stage. So today I would like to talk to you about the relationship between theater and technology. Let's start with technology.
Hey!
Tether roof off, we gonna tether roof off the mother sucker. Tether roof off the sucker. Tether roof off, we gonna tether roof off the mother sucker. Tether roof off the sucker.
So, oh, please. Well, zero upwake lasts 52 minutes and 54 seconds. I actually project 3D animation on all the 4 surfaces of the stage that are perfectly synchronized to my actions. The use of projection and animation was a process of discovery. I didn't use it as a special effect, but as a partner on stage. There are no special effects in Upwake, no artifice. It's as detailed and intricate as it is simple and minimal. 344 frames, 4.5 years, and commissions later. What started as a one-person show became a collaborative work of 19 most talented artists. And here are some excerpts.
Montre-toi, misérable! Prends garde à mon courroux! Aigri! Aigri!
I'm sick and tired of all of this.
What is your motto here?
That's upwake. Yay. Thank you. Well, thank you. Something happened along the way. Zero became a person, and not just a character in a play. Zero does not speak, is neither man nor woman. Zero is zero, a little hero of the 21st century. And Zero can touch so many more people than I possibly could. As a performer interacting in real time one-on-one with people, I have learned that everybody wants to connect. And that usually, if you're a bit extraordinary, if you're not exactly of human appearance, then people will feel inclined to participate and to feel out loud. It's as though you made something resonate within them. It's as though the mystery of the person they're connecting, interacting with, allows them to be themselves just a bit more. Because through your mask, they let theirs go. Being human is an art form. In 2007, Zero launched a green campaign suggesting fans and friends to turn off their electricity every Sunday from 7:53 to 8 p.m. The idea at heart is not original. It's simple, basic, but important. And having Zero deliver the message made it special because it gave the cause a face. We even recently just finished a short animation asking Starbucks to start recycling in their stores and encourage customers like you and I to bring our reusable mugs back the next time we go. What am I doing now? I am working with 2 engineers at Digital Worlds Institute in Gainesville, using markerless motion capture technology. Through natural interface using gestures, I can pretty much trigger anything I want out of thin air, in this instance, sound. Here are some of our very, very rough beta testing.
Remember, it's not your hand. Remember, it's the stick that needs to touch the box. Yeah.
By the way, did you know that brain scans reveal striking similarities in the thought pathways of highly creative people and schizophrenics? Apparently, creative people and schizophrenics have fewer D2 receptors in the thalamus, which probably means a lower degree of signal filtering, thus a higher flow of information. Psychologist Gary Fitzgibbon says something very interesting. He says that the ability to suspend our disbelief is one way of looking at creativity. Because when you suspend your disbelief, you're prepared to believe anything. And this opens up the scope for seeing more possibilities. Am I confusing you? I really wish you could make this, less complicated, but this is the truth. Professional dancers who are graphic designers, PhD neuroscientists who are DJ by night, I know them. They were my composers. We are as complex and diverse as we've always been. Only now we've got the technology to better express our creativity, our lunacies. What do I want to do when I grow up? I want to be an astro performer. The next generation of artists performing in outer space. Last year, I participated in the DC-9 lunar parabolic flight study as scientists were measuring my cardiovascular performance while in both zero gravity and 0.6 gravity environments. Because the future we once imagined is the reality we live now. And because in this reality, in this future, in this space, I think art and culture ought to be regarded with as much importance as space commerce and space tourism There is a revolution. It's a human and technological revolution. It's virtual, it's real, it's universal, it's happening. The natural progression of science and art, finding each other to better touch and define the human experience. There is a revolution in the way that we think, in the way that we share, and in the way that we express our stories, our evolution. This is a time of communication, connection, and creative collaboration. Charlie Chaplin innovated motion pictures and told stories with music, humor, silence, and poetry. He was social, and his character, the Tramp, spoke to millions. He gave entertainment, pleasure, and relief to so many human beings when they needed it the most. We are not here to question the possible. We are here to challenge the impossible. Let's suspend our disbelief. In the science of today, we become artists. In the art of today, we become scientists. We design our world, we invent possibilities, we teach, touch, and move. It is now that we can use the diversity of our talents together to create intelligent, meaningful, and extraordinary work. It's now. Wake up. Thank you.